Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you guys had a great weekend. And thank you guys again for making last week so amazing with the outpouring of well wishes for a very happy birthday. Greatly appreciated. And yeah, it was just absolutely epic. So, um, got a chance to spend some time with my family and also, what else did I do? Well, I planned for some new projects in my life. So, along with a birthday is a chance to, I guess, figure out how and where and what to do with the rest of this life we have. So that's what I was doing. So I made a few decisions, but nothing monumental. Well, at least not that monumental, but I'm working on it. Anyway, and for the rest of the Scorpio season's birthdays, happy birthday to you, Connie Balmer. Hey, Connie Balmer. Hello, Lydia. Let's see, Janice Goodridge. Hello to Rick and Karen M. Let's see, who else do we have here? Oh, let me do this before I forget. We need to let our friends on Twitter know that we're here. Let me tweet that. Okay, and in addition to that, let me create a post right now. Right now. Okay, that's how you spell right now. Okay, very cool. And boom, got it. All right, so that's taken care of. Connie Balmer, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you, Connie. This is a great way to start off a week. They say if you get a super sticker within the first 10 minutes on the first day of the week. Anyway, okay, I just kind of made that up. But yes, thank you very much. I like it. And thank you for being here as always. And of course, thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Okay. Who else do we have here? Joy Amor, Kitson Door, Victoria Fabre, let's see, Cynthia Thorpe. Okay, this sounds so biblical. Hail, all squatties, Baron and the Sussex. Let me see. God bless you. Good vibes and salutations. Is that what that is? So this is okay. Thank you so much. Elaine Parker. You know, there's an old saying that if you get two super stickers within the first 10 minutes, that that means that you got two super stickers in the first 10 minutes. Anyway, thank you so much, Elaine Parker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Monday to you. I'm sure there's some kind of saying that goes with that. But I'm starting to sound like last New Year's. Gosh, that was funny. All right, old people with those old sayings. As a matter of fact, I am kind of sure that while I was watching my what do you call that? My Rome video yesterday, or what was it? Was that yesterday? Yeah, I guess it was. I'm pretty sure that on some of those ancient buildings I saw my birthday and of course the announcement of my birth and everything carved in stone in some of those ancient walls from that bygone civilization, but I digress. I always digress. Okay, so let me get over here. You know, I meant to put something here to open up with, but just imagine that I put something there. Oh, I know what I meant to do with that. I meant to this was my intention was to put this up there, but I neglected to do it. So anyway, I'm going to borrow this from one of the old slides to share with you all. Okay, very good. Uh, 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 okay. All right. So we're all caught up here. Oh, hello, Sherry. Where? Glad you're here. All right. So let's do this then. Okay. Perfect. As promised, some new photos of Prince Harry. Now, I'm looking at the photo on the left. That I have deducted is a train. At first I thought it was a boat, but it's actually a train. It appears one can deduct that they have started a new rail line, a carbon neutral and environmentally friendly rail line that is going to be quite instrumental during the Invictus games. Um, I put this together in haste because, as you know, with the Sussexes, you don't get much notice before all of a sudden here comes a whole bunch of news and everything. So that's exactly what happened today. As I always say, just let the Sussexes Sussex and amazing things will happen. Amen. Okay, sorry. I think I'm a bit dehydrated. Oh, that was delicious. Ice cold water. They say you shouldn't drink it cold, but it's either that or a cold pop. Oh boy, when I say pop, you already know what part of the country I come from. Hand me a pop out of there, would you? Let me have one of them cold pops. All right. So, hello, Deborah, Debbie. Welcome. So Harry has his opportunity to get behind the controls of the train, and boy, I tell you, excuse me, he looks like a little kid sitting there. And these photos, of course, were taken when the Sussexes were in Dusseldorf. And in case you guys didn't know, I made a video. Robert Collins. Hey, Robert Collins. I had a video yesterday that I dedicated to you. Did you know that? It's this one right here. Yes. Yesterday we went to Rome. So I'm pretty sure that you know all those places. But we dedicated a video to you yesterday. I shared some of those images I took in the Eternal City. So, anyway, thank you so much for being here. And I hope you will enjoy that video if you haven't seen it already. But if you don't watch it, I won't be offended because, I mean, for us, it's something special. But for you, it's just a matter of going to the market, isn't it? Oh, you got a cold pop? Very cool. You got to have a cold pop. That's the only way to drink them. I think the other name for the uh, sodas is a sarsaparilla. I think that was another one of those country names that they use for the soda pops are the sarsaparillas. Okay, but anyway, that is from yesterday, so we won't get into all of that. And of course, I'm just going to let this play in the background. This is the video that I made so that we could celebrate Dusseldorf. Now, I'm going to try to remember to put this in the community tab just in case you guys haven't seen it. But this was like the best collage I could put together with all the videos and all the images from the Dusseldorf visit that would not get me, dinged by the copyright. I'm just going to play a little bit of it and then I'm going to turn the sound down so I can continue. But I just, all of this happened before the Queen passed away. So we had a chance to see that the Sussex star continues to rise over the horizon. and all is well in Montecito, where there are no leaks. So again, I will make it a point to put this in the community tab, a link for it, so that you guys can watch and get caught up with it. Because I know some of y'all have seen it, most of y'all, I hope. But yeah, this is like a love letter to the Sussexes from the Sussex squad, as far as I'm concerned. And it just gives you a chance to see what we can expect in Dusseldorf next year. I mean, it was just an amazing day for them. And then, of course, we know what happened. And then there was like weeks of what it was. But we've bounced back from that. So no worries. Onward and upward. Now, if you take a look over here, you can see that our Duchess is wearing that. I guess it's a tank top, or is a mock turtle tank top. Anyway, that's what she's wearing on that occasion. And well, anyway, it was a great outfit that day, and it continues to be amazing. All right, so I'm gonna take a look, scroll, see if you guys had any comments. Nope. All right, let us continue. So there is Prince Harry at the controls of one of those trains, and the train is wrapped with the logo. I believe it's wrapped with the logo for the Invictus games. So this is going to be a huge occasion, you guys. Invictus is going to grow. It is going to increasingly become just as prestigious as any international sports event. I even picture it one day competing with the Special Olympics. So it is only going to grow in popularity. And the real clever thing about it is that it really does serve those in the veteran community that may have been injured, whether it's the obvious injuries of war or perhaps is something that you can't see, like a mental health problem that isn't as obvious to people. But whether your scars are internal or external, or whether you have been, for lack of a better word, made handicapped or worse from your injuries, the Invictus Games will serve to inspire. So I feel so good about it. All right. To celebrate 1 year mark up to the Invictus Games, there was something very special. Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, were visiting Dusseldorf and insisted on inaugurating a special train from Die Rheinbahn. Die Rheinbahn. Um, anyway, so there they are. That is a close up image. Can you hear the excitement in my voice? There is a close up. Yes, yes, I see that out the corner of my eye. Yep, this will be huge. It is going to be huge. So, and you guys, I just want you to take some pride in the way that everyone in the Sussex community has been promoting the Invictus games, and also in our own way supporting the Invictus community. So keep it up, you guys. This is going to be huge. Now, I'm not going to be petty and just say, "Oh, I can't wait to see the look on other people's faces when." Okay, yes, I am going to be petty. Ooh, I can't wait to see the looks on their little smug faces. I mean, the little smug, of what do you call it? Self-important faces. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. And of course they're going to say, "Oh, this is only possible. It's possible because Harry is talented and respected amongst the military community, as we have seen by all of those big brass officers and world leaders that showed up in The Hague." So this is going to be even larger. So we are here for it. And I'm just going to do a lot of smiling and a lot of grinning. And I'm going to be very full of myself for the whole period of the event. So don't know if I'm going, but I'm working on it, you guys. I am so working on it. Oh yes. Chris Ship with a P, not a T, is going to be there because it isn't Wednesday yet. If you guys don't get that reference, Chris Ship with a P, not a T. He said that after Wednesday that he would have no reason to speak about the Sussexes anymore since they're stepping back from official duty. He ain't stopped talking about them since. And every time that there's a possibility that he could be in the area when the Sussexes make an appearance, there he is. People are like, "Hey, aren't you Chris Ship with a P, not a T? What are you doing here? It's not Wednesday. Is it Wednesday already?" Oh man, this is just what I needed to kick my week off. All right, and there is a broader image. So that was a close up of the event. And this shows you at a distance that they are standing in front of one of those new, highly efficient, carbon neutral, environmentally friendly trains. Yes, and it's amazing that we haven't even seen these photos yet. You would think that somebody would have posted these online sooner, but obviously Chris Ship with a P, not a T, wasn't around. Otherwise, he'd done it himself. I wonder if he knows that I call him Chris Ship with a P, not a T. Well, who cares? I guess I'll tell him Wednesday. We'll see. But yeah, so that is going to be huge. Here's just a little bit more of that event. I love that picture of Harry. Okay, let me get back over here before we get lost in that video. And that's not my intention, but I'm going to have to watch it again now. Oh, I'm really enjoying it today. Uh Reba Henderson says they want to attach themselves to Harry and Meghan, Meghan's work so bad they copy everything they do. I'm going to get to that. I am so going to get to that because I was definitely thinking about that today when all of this good news came out. Oh, got a new member. Welcome. Is it Shani W? Shani W became a YouTube member of Royal Sussex. Well, happy Monday to you, and thank you so much for supporting this Sussex friendly platform. And let's see. Okay. Yes, right, right. Okay, just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Let me okay. Okay, okay, okay. I gotta stop smiling. My face hurts. My face is hurting from smiling. Okay, back over here. Back over here. All right, my face is hurting from smiling. Oh man, what a sinister laugh. It's not because I'm anxious to see the reaction of the haters in Narnia. I'm just saying, I'm just saying that this is going to be huge. Okay, okay, okay. I'm done smiling because my face is hurting, and my face always hurts like this because I'm always smiling when I know that the Sussexes are embarrassing some people that they are, you know, some of them by accident of birth related to, and others, well, they fell in love and found themselves stuck in that institution. But either way, either way. Okay. Okay, deep breaths, deep breaths. All right, let's move on, shall we? And there it is. The that name will support the Invictus Games 23 as a mobility partner and bring spectators, competitors, volunteers, and family and friends to their destination in a sustainable and carbon neutral. Let me let me see. Have you already discovered our special train in Dusseldorf? No, I haven't, but I hope to see it in person. So yeah, there you are. That's a bad translation, by the way, but I translated that from German. You can see the train up close. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? It is all wrapped with the um the logo for, and of course some of the quotes for the Invictus game. So I'm getting excited. Can you imagine how I will be next summer when the Invictus Games is actually is it in the summer? I think it's September. Yeah, I think it'll be September when the Invictus Games kick off. So next September when the Invictus Games kick off in Dusseldorf, could you imagine how excited not just myself, but everybody is going to be on that occasion? So I'm looking for it. I am here for it. It is going to be so cool. All right. And there you have it. Chugging along. If you've been to Dusseldorf in the last 2 months, you've probably already seen them. That name. Um, with our branding. But wait a minute, something is different about this one. Well, that looks like a toy train. I wonder if you could actually buy that one. But that looks like someone has put a toy train on the ground. But anyway, I love this photo. It is beautiful. Oh, Lorna Williams, thank you so much for the super chat. Go out and vote tomorrow. Yes, please do. Vote like the democracy that we all know and love depends upon it, because it really does. And unless you want to get on the express train back to the 1950s, which is something that they have been trying to do to us since Ronald Reagan and Barry Goldwater before him, unless you guys want to go back to the 50s, unless you want to wear a poodle skirt again and of course be mistreated and such, then go ahead and sit home. But if you love your country, if you love democracy, and if you are upset about things like the January 6th, then get out and go and exercise your constitutional right that our ancestors were denied and that our other ancestors very recently fought for. Go out and vote. One man, one vote. You're not an eighth of a person. You don't have to go through the poll tax and all that kind of stuff. That's a thing of the past. And if you want to keep it in the past, go out and vote. It's just as simple. It don't cost you nothing. Go early. Do an early ballot if you can. Uh, you may have time today to do it. So whenever you can, just get up out your chair and do it. Listen to Royal Sussex on the way. All right. Thank you so much for that reminder, Lorna Williams. And thank you so much for the super chat. And of course, for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. Ray Raquel says, right, Baron, and keep women protection and have the right to love who you love. Amen to that. Okay. So, okay, just a little bit more. Just a little bit.
Sussex
Meghan, you're beautiful! Woo!
Okay, that never gets old to me. That never gets old to me. Megan, you're beautiful. Woo! You know, I have watched that I don't know how many times, and that is like my favorite part. Uh, all right, what a way to start a Monday, right? This is like the best thing is to start the week with some positive good news like that. So um, there we go. And there is the official logo for Invictus Games Dusseldorf 2023. Um, yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And then this, thank you to everyone who registered as a volunteer at Invictus Games Dusseldorf 2023. Over 27 over 2723 people from all over the world have registered. We are now beginning the approval process and will review your applications. Successful candidates will hear from us in January 2023. Stay tuned. So that means if you guys have already registered to be a volunteer, that you will hear from them very, very soon. Oh, wow. That is so cool. I'm so glad that happened for you. That must have been a nice surprise. Yeah, just clicked on and hear, Megan, you're beautiful. That is very cool. That must have been like a really cool experience. Thanks for sharing that. Let me see. And Rachel what is it? Mara says, "Hi Baron, I am Kenyan, who enjoys your show. I must say, listening to you always brightens up my love you all Sussex squad. Well, thank you so much. Brightens up your day. I'm sure that is, and thank you for being here. And I'm glad to hear that you are enjoying this Sussex friendly platform because that's what it's about. And that brightens my day. So thank you so much for saying that. What a really cool day. And I was just like, what is happening in the news today? And then all this stuff just kind of dropped out of the sky. All right. So I don't know how true this is. And whoever shared that said take it with a grain of salt. Now, one or two things are happening here. Either someone is so I don't know, trying to attach something to the Sussexes, which in a way is flattering because it just lets you know the influence the Sussexes have, or it may just be much to do about nothing. But Meghan Markle and Prince Harry spotted on romantic date night details. The couple looked loved up and happy. The couple recently joined a low key date night together at the, I don't know, is that Ojai, California? And they couldn't have picked a more perfect restaurant. Well, uh, oh, I say take it with a grain of salt. Maybe that happened, maybe not. In a way, I kind of hope it did happen. I hope there are no photos. I hope there aren't any photos. I'll just say that. But knowing that they are living their best life and that they're not stuck behind walls or worried about who may be here, there, or anywhere, things that people were so vehement about. Oh, they couldn't have picked a worse place to live and all that kind of stuff. They're thriving, they're doing just fine. And every day we are reminded that there are no leaks in Montecito. There are no leaks in Montecito. They are getting along just fine. They have neighbors who are protective of them, as well as a city which appreciates their efforts to be a part of the community. They've reached out. They've done all the right things, and as you know, our Duchess is a letter writer and she believes in the power of a handwritten note and a thank you card. So they're going to do just fine. So, whatever the naysayers and the negative people are trying to put out there, so far, so Sussex. So far, so Sussex, right? So far, so Sussex. Let the Sussexes Sussex. That's what I always say. Okay. And, well, let's do a little transition beat, shall we? Okay. UK drops plan for 250 million pound national flagship. um, unless that thing is going to take me to the Caribbean for vacation, what is the point of it? What is the point of it? Bojo the Clown, amongst others, had this idea to relive the glory days. Hey, Black Queen. They had this idea to relive the glory days of the British Empire to the likes of which the sun never sets, right? And so, one of the biggest symbols of the world's largest empire by landmass and wealth, the British Empire, was to use the Britannia as a floating Buckingham Palace as a way to use soft power to connect with the masses within the Commonwealth. I promise you today that whether my life be it long or be it short, I will. What was that she said? With all my power and not only for us but for our Commonwealth imperial family, our imperial family. That's what she promised to do, and she did. She stayed there 70 years. She stayed there. And one of the ways that she was able to project that power was to use the HMS Britannia. The Britannia originally was supposed to be outfitted in the most elegant way, but when her father died, who actually commissioned the ship, when her father died, they decided to scale things back, and now it looks a bit like a little country cottage. I've actually went to the Britannia when I went to Edinburgh, and one of these days, if you guys are interested, I will share the photos I took that day. But you have the whole run of the ship within limitations, of course. And well, anyway, it was pretty interesting, quite exciting, should I say, because I'm like, wow, that's the Britannia. But other than that, it's pretty cool. They have a whole shopping mall that is dedicated to. Well, I'm gonna say this: it did bring a lot of jobs to the area. And so somebody's got jokes today. And I'm telling you, I am not going, whether it's long or short. I and you're going to love me with undiluted pleasure. I must be in a good mood because I am being powerful silly today. But oh man. Anyway, and I am telling you, I shan't not going, even though the rough times are showing. Okay, okay, okay. I gotta focus, you guys. I got work to do here. So, the one of the few times that Her Majesty the Queen has publicly shown emotion in those 70 years was when Tony Blair cut her off at the knees and took her ship from her. So, after 44 years of service, the Royal Yacht Britannia was decommissioned by Tony Blair, who said, why in the world are we paying all this money for a ship that you may or may not use? And so the last time the ship was used was when the Britannia went down to South Africa, I think it was. And this is what happened in the latter years of the Britannia. In case you don't know this, the Queen never sailed into port. She would fly on the plane and meet the ship there. So rather than renting a banquet hall like most of us would, or rather than, let's say, um, having a function at the embassy or a consulate, Her Majesty would meet the ship in a port of call, and then the people from that country would hop on board for a party. Well, I got to tell you, it was impressive to people because the Royal Yacht Britannia was so legendary that, of course, just like myself, as a curious traveler, I wanted to see it firsthand. And so it did impress people. Otherwise, the ship is quite modest. It's not as posh as you could imagine. The only thing that was really special about it is that, well, if you were the sovereign or a family member, the boat would go wherever you wanted it to go. So, yeah, and that was the novelty of it. So Tony Blair said, "Well, you know what? This ship is just sucking up money. It doesn't make sense, and it has to go." And baby, the queen was hot. The queen was so mad about them decommissioning her ship because she loved that Britannia. And you know what I noticed is that, have you guys noticed that every time they talk about the queen and one of the castles or an official royal residence. And for all intent and purposes, the Britannia is a royal residence. It is a palace at sea, not quite elaborate, but it is a palace at sea. But they always have this thing about, oh, it was one of the few places where Her Majesty could be herself. It was one of the places where the stresses and trials of royal duty did not interfere. I mean, it was always something about. You guys hear that? That's my doorbell, but I'm not expecting anything. I'm not answering that. Might be the revenue man or something. That is so weird. You know what? I think they're testing it because anyway, I'm not going to pay attention to that. But so yes, they always say, well, this is one of the few places where the queen could let her hair down. This is one of the few places where the queen could relax, and so on and so on and so on. And so I've heard that said about the Britannia, and I've heard that said about Windsor Castle. And you also hear the same thing about Sandringham, and you heard the same thing about Balmoral Castle. Well, I tell you what, if you were lucky enough to have any of those places to call home, I bet you could relax too if you had several choices of residence to go to. Okay, things are getting cold, I'll go here. Things are getting boring, I'll go there. Of course you could relax. But when Tony Blair took the Britannia, the Queen was livid. Yes, the Queen was livid. And so Tony Blair did not receive one of those honorary knighthoods or one of those alphabet things. He was like one of the last people to receive one. And people thought that he would never get one because the Queen was visibly shaken the day that she lost her royal yacht. So that is a true story. I'm going to stick to it. I hope they cover it on the Crown. What in the is somebody trying to?
To your right, please. Turn ahead, please. To your right, please. Sir.
Oh, sorry about that, you guys. I had an Amazon package. Oh man, I got a birthday surprise. I got a birthday surprise. I wasn't expecting anything. This is so cool. It is a Harry and Meghan English breakfast tea. Oh my gosh, this is so nice. You guys, I'm going to take a picture and share it with you next time. It's in a collectible tin. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, this is nice. Duke and Duchess of Sussex English breakfast tea. Okay. Oh, and it's from the United Kingdom. Wow. Oh man, I got to take a picture of this and I'll share it with you guys next time. Ah, that is so cool. And thank you to the Amazon lady for being so persistent because I wasn't expecting anything. And I'm just like, why is my doorbell ringing? Oh, sorry, you guys. And thank you for being so patient. Yes, so I was talking about the Britannia, and then I got this nice surprise. And yeah, so very cool. All right. What a happy day. How happy day. Oh, happy day. All right. So there's Harry at the controls of the train. And why was the Britannia in between that? I don't know. This is what I meant to show you guys earlier, but I see my slides are out of order. Hello, Charlotte. Yeah, my slides seem to be out of order. So anyway, you guys just pretend like we didn't just talk about the Britannia and let's go with the flow. So we have that one and that one and then this up close, I don't know what that is, but I think maybe that is that toy train that we saw earlier. Could it be? Maybe that's that toy train we saw earlier. Interesting. So let's go back and take a look at that one, shall we? Maybe that's what that is. Maybe that is the toy train that we saw earlier because I just did not see a caption as to what gift it was that Harry received there. So maybe that's what it is. That would be really cool. Let's see. Yeah, I tried to zoom in as close as possible without losing the quality of the image, but there you are. A nice close up of that train. I think that's what it is. So, yeah, that's a very cool gift. No wonder Harry is sitting there like a little kid, smiling and grinning from ear to ear. Oh, yes, he does deserve it, doesn't he? He really does deserve it. Oh, man. Very, very cool. Yes. All right. So, and there he is up close at the controls, as happy as a lark. And why wouldn't he be happy, right? That is so cool. This is a good day. All right. So, Travelport joins Prince Harry's Travalyst Coalition. Travel technology company Travelport has joined Prince Harry's global sustainable travel coalition, Travalyst. Travelport will now implement Travalyst data methodology and will build capabilities in the Travelport platform to help its travel management company the agency customers accelerate sustainable travel. Travel Point joins, blah, 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 blah. It says the same thing again. No, it doesn't. Joins Travelers founding partner, including Booking.com, okay, Skyscanner, Trip.com Group, TripAdvisor, and Visa, as well as recently joined partner Amadeus. Oh, this is huge. This is huge. And to think that Harry is playing such a key role in this endeavor is so impressive. That Harry, um, the spare, has proved himself yet again more relevant than the average royal. And that just seems to bother them so much. But Harry is taking care of his business. He is taking care of his business. He's handling his business big time. And it just bothers them. It's not the book, it's not the archetypes, it's the whole package. The Sussexes just seem to have everything going in the right direction for them. They haven't put a foot wrong since they left Narnia, and the other two are struggling for relevancy. I guess playing to their crowd, which of course seems to be right leaning and somewhat maniacal, but that's who they are playing up to. And I tell you, when you crawl up in the bed with the devil, you're going to get burns. But let them keep doing what they're doing, and we'll just worry about our faves. So Prince Harry's leadership is epic. His Travalyst Sustainable Coalition empire is now growing. Archie will be heir of his dad's own empire. There you go. That's it. He'll have his own empire if he chooses. And if he chooses to do something else, I'm pretty sure that the Sussex family will agree as a family to let him be himself or to let Lilibeth be herself. So if that's what they want, they shall have it. And there's Harry in command, King Harry in command of his own life, away from the shadow of that institution. Good on him. And those who can do, and those who can't, they chase somebody else's clout. And that's exactly what's happening with these two. Those two clout chasers are doing everything they can to try to remind the people that, oh, we have the kings to the kingdom. Well, you know what? Nobody really wants the kingdom anymore. There is a movement to rid the world of that kingdom and to go to a representatory republic like most nations. But no, there you have it. Most Western industrialized nations have an elected official, but Narnia still has their head of state in the form of a king or a queen or the sovereign. And so the future king is right there wearing that Yankee Doodle hat. And he has the temperament of a child. He alienates people. And even worse, there's nothing to balance him, like, let's say, his wife, because she is just as aloof and they pretend to be warm and friendly and engaging like the Sussexes, but they are so far from that. And they are hiding behind their connections in the tabloid world. But pretty soon, the world is going to know the truth and they will be exposed for the phonies that they are. Like, for instance, right here, those who can do, and those who can't, well, they get a smooch on the ear. Those who can will, and those who can't pretend. Always pretending. What a difference. And the thing is, you know that whole moment on the right side was created because of that moment on the left side, which looks like something out of a rom-com, a romantic comedy, whereas the other one is just pure comedy. And what's so funny about it is it's fake. It is 100% fake. And everybody knows it. Look at the expression on the Duchess Doolittle's face. I mean, she would rather be anywhere. She would rather have hair extensions yanked out by the handful rather than to be in that situation that she's in where she actually has to touch him or let him allow him into her space. How awkward. Legs has a super chat. Baron, I don't know why, but this picture reminds me of the Purge election year. Oh man. Okay. Okay, that's what's up. The Purge. I get you. Oh man, that is too funny. Thank you so much, Legs. You never disappoint. Okay. Oh, okay. So here's another missed opportunity. You think lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place? It does. Take a look here. Connection? No connection whatsoever. Connection? No. I mean, look at how Harry has surrendered himself. Whereas Kate looks like she has that bizarre look on her face again. Um Kate looks like she's ready to body slam him. Do you see how she's using her thumb to push him away? She is literally using her thumb to say, not too close. Well, in her case, what? What? Not too close. You worried. Not close. So, there you go. Not too close. While wearing a dress with a big letter M on it for what? Meghan. She's trolling Meghan. She has either that dress. Okay, let me put it to you like this: either Racer X has transitioned, or Speed Racer has transitioned and left that dress behind, or she's trying to troll our Duchess. I mean, it is like the most ridiculous design. It looks like she's dressed for tennis, doesn't it? It looks like she has on a tennis dress, like an old school tennis dress rather. But yeah, not too close. I mean, it's amazing. It is just amazing how stiff. It's like looking at an emery board being attacked by by a hand or something. Let's see. Leg says the difference between editorial and budget pictures. That's it. That is the difference. Oh man. Thank you again. All right. Again, those who can will, and those who can't, they just scratch their heads and try to figure out why is it people do not see how extraordinary I am. After all, I shall inherit what's left of the British Empire. 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 I don't know. I don't know. It's not for me to figure out. Just stay away from Harry and Meghan. That's all I care about. All right, so let's get into this. MSNBC cut ties unexpectedly with weekend host Tiffany Cross. Well, you guys, I have a lot to say about this. A lot to say about this. Well, here we go. MSNBC cuts ties unexpectedly with Tiffany Cross, right? And Soledad O'Brien showed a great deal of sisterhood by reaching out via a text message to show support. She isn't controversial. She is black and willing to stand up for herself when Tucker Carlson attacked her. Now, honestly, I still don't know what the attack was, because God knows when I see Tucker Carlson, I tune out as fast as possible, but I'm sure it was something nasty and uncalled for. And Tiffany Cross obviously responded in kind, and the powers that be decided to um, support Tucker Carlson in some roundabout way by simply not renewing Tiffany's contract. Now, it is said that Tiffany had the highest ratings over the weekend at the MSNBC network. She had the highest ratings for MSNBC for the weekend, which the weekends at MSNBC can be pretty scarce. And so she was in command of those numbers. And of course, over time, we are all getting our news from various sources, and especially young people are not so much connecting to the legacy media that we have all grown up with. Well, us baby boomers. And so, um, numbers for network news is not huge anymore. Even Fox News has taken a beating from the lack of viewers. And the fact that Tiffany Cross was able to have a good audience on the weekend says a lot for her ability as a journalist and the fact that she speaks her mind. And obviously, some people didn't like that. And maybe to make sure that she has been silenced before this election, they decided, well, we just won't renew her contract. Interesting, isn't it? And given the fact that it's a few days before the election, that kind of tells me that she was brought in around election time to help bolster their image at MSNBC. And if that contract indeed rounds off to a year after year, then it seems like they decided that whatever many years it's been, however many, that they would end her contract, which is probably why it lands before election day. So, yeah, but I don't think that's coincidental. I think that they just made a decision and they just couldn't take her. So they let her go. Maybe. Um, I wasn't in the room. The only thing that I can judge as being completely accurate without there being any videotape as a witness is, of course, the crown. The crown is the one thing that I think is true through and through. There's nothing made up. It's nothing fictitious about the crown. It's actual accounts of what happened to the royal family. So I don't know what's happening with this, but I am certain of the crown. That was a shameless plug, by the way. Joy Reid addresses Tiffany Cross exit, slamming critics. You don't understand how sisters move. Again, I am so proud that women of color, in particular black women, are coming out to support Tiffany Cross rather than remaining silent like they did when, oh, what was his name? Remember when Dan Rather was ran off of television for reporting as accurate as possible about the war in Iraq? You guys remember that? Because if you don't, let me refresh your tea. Dan Rather was the only network anchor that gave pushback to the Bush administration's obvious lies about, weapons of mass destruction and questioned the validity of the war in Iraq, right? He was the only one that gave pushback. And what happened is he was set up with a phony story and embarrassed, and he, quit CBS. Um, None of the other news guys, Brian Williams, Tom Brokaw, whoever was over at ABC, none of them came to support him. This is the difference that I'm trying to point out to you guys. None of those guys showed any unwavering support to Dan Rather. They left him to twist in the wind, to wither on the vine, and then eventually he had to step back as the lead anchor for CBS News. And by getting rid of Dan Rather, that eliminated a voice of dissension in a country where so many people in the media were being very lazy about reporting the war in Iraq. Now, does any of this ring a bell to you guys? Brian Williams, Tom Brokaw, um, what was his name on ABC? The one, Peter Jennings. None of those guys showed any support to Dan Rather. And so when that happened, Dan Rather was, left on his own. But that's not what's happening here. Women of color are speaking up for Tiffany Cross. And I like that. They're not afraid to voice their opinions about it. Someone else who speaks up and speaks out when she's been done wrong is, of course, Tamron Hall. Tiffany Cross and Still I Rise. You know the rest. Hashtag Tiffany Cross. Now, I like that. I like that. Well, thank you, Joanne Baker. I don't want you guys to think I'm just a pretty face. I do pay attention to certain things that's going on. I'm not just a pretty well, okay, somewhat attractive, but I do pay attention. And I was very disturbed by what happened to Dan Rather, and this is disturbing too. Yeah, Dan Rather has been very consistent, and that's what they couldn't take. Dan Rather was very consistent. Dan Rather was just a little young reporter the day that Kennedy was assassinated, and he became like the big shot at the CBS network, and he held a lot of people's feet to the fire, not for sensationalism, but because it was the right thing to do. And in that tradition, Tiffany Cross was hired for her opinions, was hired for her truth, and days before the election, they decided to silence her, which is so disturbing on so many levels. Now, Tamron Hall is like a big hero to me because she turned lemons into lemonade. She, was mishandled, mistreated by the network, and she had to deal with things because she was, hoping that she was going to have a. I think she wanted the to do the news on the Today Show, but instead, and they say it had something to do with one of the hosts of the Today Show who was accused of, you know, he was accused. I think they had to pay some people out because of his behavior. Well, that particular person who I just simply shan't name, they said he was instrumental in making sure that this very self assured and very distinguished woman of color could not advance. And so, as um, you know, a way to I guess make amends for it, they I don't know if that's exactly how it happened, but anyway, she wound up on a talk show, which has been very successful. And if I'm correct, hasn't she won an Emmy or two? Uh, Tamron Hall walks away from today over Megyn Kelly. Well, I think what it was is that if I recall, Megyn Kelly got the talk show and not Tamron Hall. So no news for you, Tamron, and no talk show. We're going to give that to Megyn Kelly. Well, Megyn Kelly was a disaster, and the show did not do well at all. But you know who's doing extremely well with their talk show? Tamron Hall. Yes, thank you so much. Tamron Hall has won an Emmy. Yes, that's who's doing very well with her talk show, Tamron Hall. Megyn Kelly was a complete flop on NBC with her talk show, but Tamron Hall is not only surviving, but she is thriving. Now, when did I fall in love with Tamron Hall? I'm going to show you. It was this day. When Tamron Hall walked, when they said walked, I mean 3 snaps, walked away from NBC. That was runway worthy walking away from NBC. When she walked away from the Today Show, should I say, did she ever walk? I mean, that is, if you don't recognize it, that is Rockefeller Plaza. And Rockefeller Plaza is like one of the most famous areas in all of Manhattan, in all of New York. And there is Tamron Hall looking delicious, looking gorgeous, looking empowered. I love I love those photos, which is why I just always seem to have them handy when I have a point to make. I have to call upon those from time to time. But yeah, that is how you say goodbye in so many words, but you know what I'm trying to say. But that is how you say goodbye. Is when you walk out, you walk. Okay, if you're gonna walk out, walk, walk, girl, walk. That is how you walk away. Keep it. I'm done. That is how you walk away. So that was like that was a moment right there. What you see right there is a moment. Yes, she was a bit shaken, but determined. That was a moment. There you go. Yeah, Megan Kelly didn't survive. She didn't survive. You know, she wasn't free to be as the R word as she wanted to be. And so, and of course, she just really didn't connect with people. There was no connection there. She just didn't connect. Yeah. So anyway, there you go. Now, Jeremy Clarkson claims he doubts Meghan Markle tears at the Queen's funeral were real. He's that happened at a time when the world was caught off guard. Most people did not realize exactly how cruel the royal family could be. But karma, all things being karma, karma has a way of like sending a message to people. Thank you, Hero Cow. Well, if you don't know what that's in reference to, Jeremy Clarkson has a show where he's a farmer. He's gone from top gear to top steer. I just made that up. From top gear to top steer. But he's had a history. He's had a history. Jeremy Clarkson's N-word shame. Well, he was doing a little rhyme on camera of a song that is disparaging to people of color, well, to black people, and the eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Well, the version that a lot of kids use nowadays or have used in my youth wasn't the actual words. It was, you know, it was very, very disturbing. And of course, then there's the footballer, the soccer player, who happens to be a man of color. And of course, if anybody would notice that, is Jeremy Clarkson, obviously. So he gives his dog that name. Kind of reminds you of the Prince Michael of Kent naming her black sheep Serena and Venus. Well, in this case, he names his dog for, I can't pronounce this guy's name, but um, he names his dog for one of the most celebrated players in the world. And then, of course, like any person who seems to have trouble with black people, he pretend like, oh, it was what's wrong with naming my black dog? What is wrong with me naming my black dog his name? This is the latest addition in the pack. He's called, what is his name? Didier Dogba. Anyway, that is what he names the dog. But of course, then he makes himself out to be the victim. Just like our former president, he's always the victim. And the thing about it is, the people who loves to yell, "Oh, why are you all always trying to portray yourselves as a victim? Why is the Duchess of Sussex claiming she's a victim?" When the truth is, they're the ones, like for instance, Hoghead Pierce Morgan, he's always the victim. I mean, every day, 5 days a week, he finds some kind of tie in to go after a black woman in the United States, who he should be welcoming to the United Kingdom, but instead he's helping to draw attention to her in the most negative way and turning her into a target of various kinds of targets. But yeah, and so over and over again, he kept saying, they want their cake and eat it. They want, if I heard him say they want their cake and eat it one more time, I would have screamed. But that was what Hoghead Morgan used. Well, this guy, uh, in some ways, he's even worse. He doesn't have as big a platform as he's had in the past, but in so many occasions when he could have just done his job without invoking someone's race, he's done it again and again. Like right here, um, the tie slope remark. Now, I'm not even sure what that means. I can kind of guess, but I'm not sure what it means. But Clarkson was criticized when he used the word slope, or is it slope, as an Asian man is seen walking onto a bridge. And then, of course, the racist rhyme that he used on the Top Gear. And then, of course, if you guys are old enough to remember the Falkland Island War, well, the people in Argentina remember it oh so well. Last October, the Top Gear team had to flee from Argentina when locals were outraged by the number plate on a Porsche that were driven. They were driving rather. The number plate was H982 FKL. Well, FKL designates Falkland, and H982, that is 1982, but I think they had to use at least one letter. So I remember the Falkland Island War. And how offensive is it to be in Argentina, a country which has had some very bad relations with Britain over the years, and to invoke the Falkland Island War while you're a visitor? But he did that. And then, of course, there was the dog situation. And of course, the one show scandal. Clarkson got more than 31,000 complaints following an appearance on a BBC One show in December 2011 when he told the presenter Matt Baker and Alex Jones that he thought all public sector workers who had just taken part in a 24-hour strike should all be shot. I would take them outside and execute them in front of their families. Now, words matter, and especially when you have a large platform, your words matter. And this type of language is why so many people of color in Britain are not safe. And the same here in the United States. We had a president that used language like that, which is outrageous. But that's what happened. We even had a president that used that language. And that was a reason why during the pandemic, which he could have done more to protect us from, that president, as far as I'm concerned, was the cause of so many Asian people being attacked in the streets. So those words matter. And so we can't take this lightly when a bully goes after our Duchess, because it creates this apathy. People who are rather fragile, mentally fragile, may decide to act upon these things. Like, for instance, um, the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi, was attacked by someone wielding a hammer. And for 30 minutes, this person was in their home threatening him and even injured him so much so that he had to have surgery. So those words matter. But there's also karma. So there's Jeremy Clarkson. You're going to lose this war with the royals, Meghan, and you're going to lose it big. Very ominous words from a bully. Again, that type of language makes it very unsafe for our Duchess to be in Narnia, but that's the intention. He's saying what a lot of people are thinking. Not the majority of people, obviously, but um, enough people that makes it unsafe for the Duchess of Sussex. Jeremy Clarkson claims he doubts Meghan's tears at the Queen's funeral were real. He's got so many other things that he can concern himself with, but time and time again, he comes down on the side of evil. Meet Mad Cow, Exhibit A, a real ball breaker, if you ask me. But this cow is said to have been responsible for humbling Jeremy Clarkson. Um, but I have a problem with this. I'm not so sure that that happened. This may be yet another attempt for Jeremy Clarkson to try to draw attention to himself. Maybe it happened. Maybe he's making more out of it than what it is. But of course, if it is true, that's what I have to say about that. If it is true. But you know what? I have a feeling that it was probably, now we heard one version, right? And that is that some big mad, angry heifer went after him. And of course, when I heard that, I'm just like, what was she doing there? What why was she there? Okay. But obviously that's not the case. Well, Halloween just passed, you guys, right? So if Jeremy Clarkson, that big bully, was doubled over because somebody gave him a shot to the fun parts, then obviously it was someone trick or treating who did not want eggs in their trick or treat bag and decided to send him a message. They say it was a cow. I think it was a kid. It was probably a kid who recognized a bully when he saw one and gave him a hoof in the midsection. So they could say it was a 1,500, 2,000 pound heifer if they want to. But I think it was probably a local school kid who was out trick or treating and gave him a shot that he won't ever forget. But that's just my opinion. So you all can go with the mad cow, angry heifer if you want to, but I suspect that it was someone of school age who recognized that big bully on from television and just gave him a little hoof in the lower nether regions there. So um you know, people that try to bully people like that, they usually are just a bunch of cowards. And I suspect it wouldn't take more than a Girl Scout to take him down. I mean, someone could fake him out with a box of Thin Mints and lay him on the floor, and he wouldn't know what hit him. Now, I'm not saying that he should be taken out and lined up in front of his family and attacked by a child in a cow costume, or attacked by a Girl Scout with a box of Thin Mints beating him about his head and neck with it. No, I'm not saying that. I would never condone that. But if he is knocked to the floor by an angry child with a box of Thin Mints, I would pay good money to see that. Um, oh, I know Church Nelly. I'm kind of shocked to hear that he's got some too. But oh man, if I find out that that kid if there was a kid that did that. But if I find out that kid has a GoFundMe page, all I can say is, I got you. I got you. So, I'm pretty sure anytime there's Halloween or anytime there's a kid in a farm animal costume, I mean, I could imagine, like, I don't know, a rooster, a very angry rooster, a kid in a rooster costume taking him out, or let's see, a duck, a chicken, well, we already know a cow can level you, a turkey. I'm pretty sure there's quite a few farm animals that could take him out. So, he probably gets very small when he sees a kid in a farm animal costume. Anyway, you guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much. Looks like there's another birthday there. I will let this play as I talk. Okay, I've turned the sound down. All right, I'll let that play while I'm talking, and I will try to remember to add the link for that. Anyway, thank you so much, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. And happy birthday. Who am I celebrating birthday? Bramo? Bramo, it's your birthday? Happy birthday to you. And many happy returns of the day. And thank you for sharing your time with us here on Royal Sussex. If he has any. If he has any. Let me see here. Baron, here in the UK, those who have been talking about Meghan badly are now eating animal parts. In Australia, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. Well, I heard that some people who enter that show have consumed things like, what was that? Was it a rhinoceros anus or something like that? Some weird thing, but okay, that still seems to be a little loud, so I'm going to turn it all the way down. But yeah, this is what we can look forward to in Dusseldorf, and things are only going to get bigger. Speaking of great things happening, looks like Sherry and Sade is coming up soon. I just got a an alert for that. But yeah, you guys, it's going to be very special, and I'm looking forward to it, and I hope I can be a part of it in some small way. That is Dusseldorf, not, kicking somebody in their lower regions, but I hope I can be a part of Dusseldorf in some way. Alma Andrews, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex, and happy Monday to you all. Oh, yeah. Just imagine being thin mint instead of pistol whip, thin mint whipped by a Girl Scout. Um, I hope they get that on camera. Again, I'm not encouraging any what do you call it? Any Girl Scouts to go after him. But if you do and you have a GoFundMe page, I got you. Oh man. Oh, thank you so much, Sherry Ware, the list. Okay. Okay, let me check out the list for today. And you guys, please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to share Royal Sussex. And do make sure you support the other Sussex friendly channels out there. Okay, so the list. Oh, all right. Thank you today's donations and new memberships. Thank you, Connie Balmer, Elaine Parker, Lorna Williams, and Legs for the 2 super chats. And of course, Shani W, for your new membership. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. And thank you all again for watching Royal Sussex. So I am going to look for a last comment. And then we are going to gingervanger ourselves out of here. Thank you, Karen. uh, well, I tell you what, if Jeremy Clarkson ever like decided to headbutt somebody, oh my gosh, Jeremy Clarkson's head is huge. I feel sorry for anybody he headbutts. That has to be like being like headbutted by a rhinoceros or a an American buffalo. Yep. Okay. All right. So I'm looking for a last comment. Oh yes, the queens. Don't forget our queens. Absolutely. Absolutely. Our queen of hearts and our queen of everything. These amazing ladies are what made the Sussex family possible. Oh boy, they just released Queen Consort's new royal cipher. Oh boy, Camilla has a cipher, you guys. Let me see what it looks like. Well, I'm surprised. It doesn't look like a hoof print. It doesn't look like a bird of prey. And it doesn't look like it competed in the Triple Crown either. But there is a crown, but it's not a Triple Crown. So it's not exactly what I thought it would be. It's okay. Good for her. I mean, she worked really hard for that and likely destroyed people along the way, but she got what she wanted. All right. Okay, you guys, I think we're good. I'm looking for that last comment. I like this one. What is that? Truth of Dilly. Just say a prayer for the Democrats tomorrow, USA. Get out and vote. Us in the UK stand with you, True Blues. Oh, that is amazing. I love it. Love, 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 love that. Thank you so much. Yes, vote for democracy tomorrow in the USA. And also, don't forget to vote for our Duchess's Archetypes for the People's Choice, right? And tomorrow is Archetypes Day. So I guess we have to wait and see who is going to be the next person or persons to visit our Duchess. Okay, you guys. Okay, maybe not a ginger bench. Maybe I'll just let this play out. I'll turn the sound up. And I will see you guys. Thank you so much. I love you guys. And I appreciate all of your support for this Sussex friendly platform. So instead of ginger bench, let's just watch the Sussexes.
Mommy!